Okay, folks, once again, we can't have nice things because, the blue hairs, they're upset. They're upset at a country singer, Oliver Anthony, because, god damn it, those conservatives were blowing him up over the weekend. So clearly, he must be a disciple of, little mustache guy. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's conservative, they're all they all rhyme with Yahtzee, right? What else could it be? So Oliver Anthony blew up last weekend, and it was all over social media. And I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know this guy. So I googled him. It comes out with this hit that just went off the charts, blew up, and the first article I came across, right, was from this website, AV Club. I've never heard of AV Club until now. But I looked up here and noticed that it's affiliated with Jezebel and Kotaku. Well, Jezebel and Kotaku are so friggin' far left, even Chairman Mao would be like, guys, turn it down a notch, all right? Right? These guys are so, like, they would put Mao and Stalin and be like, you're not towing the party line, buds. You got to go. They'd put them against the wall, right? So I didn't know what I was in for upon reading this article, but folks, you're going to see a level of mental gymnastics you've never seen before. And just stick around with me and we'll get to it, okay? I promise not to take up too much time. So, by Emma Keats here, okay? Emma Keats. What is Richmond north of Richmond and why is it suddenly everywhere? Okay, the first part of the article, okay, I'm not going to go through it, right? She kind of introduces the guy in a couple of his songs. I ain't got a dollar, right? I mean, I don't have many dollars myself because the government taking in most of it. I've got to get sober. I can relate. Yep, a couple times. And Rich Men of the North, a self-professed ode to the working class and your average hardworking young man. So basically, she says it goes up the charts, mentions Jason Aldean, of course, because, he's obviously a person that rhymes with Nazi. And she goes, how did it happen? It's largely conservatives, right? And she said, even though Anthony said in a recently shared introduction video that he sits, quote, pretty dead center down the aisle in politics. He says, both sides serve the same master, and that master is not someone of any good to the people of this country, and he's spot on. I mean, let's be real, folks. Politicians are self-serving. Left or right, Democrat, Republican, liberal or conservative, up in Canada, that's where I live, they're self-serving. Politicians gonna politic, right? And so she goes on to say, politicians like John Rich and Kerry Lake have blasted the song out in a big way. Conservative commentator Matt Walsh was perhaps the most high-profile promoter, writing the main reason this song resonates with so many people isn't political. It's because the song is raw and authentic, and it is, right? I watched the video. It's a good tune. I'm not a huge country guy, not going to lie, but it's got this kind of, it's that guitar he uses. I don't remember what they're called. Starts with an R, but it's a good sound, and he's got a good voice, right? She says this part may be partly true. The guy has an undeniably good voice. Oh, that's very generous of you, Emma. But is the song really resonating with people just because Anthony is, in Walsh's words, a guy in the woods pouring his heart out over his guitar? She says, of course not. It can't be that. It can't be that simple, right? It can't be just a good tune that people like. No. Conservatives like it, so he must be a white supremacist, right? Like I said, stick with me to the end of this video. Just to the mental gymnastics part. I promise you it'll blow your mind. What is the song actually about, she says? She goes, like Jason Aldean before him, Anthony is using a lot of, let's say, vague language to describe a song whose lyrics do all the real talking for him. So she's going to just, you can tell right now, they're going to take his lyrics and just twist it around. Just completely twist it around so that it suits their narrative, right? Despite what anyone with even a lobotomy would be able to tell the meaning of the lyrics. But not to the blue hairs. No, they got to be outraged at the white supremacists. Maybe that, so quote, maybe that is the problem of the day, is that we just don't talk enough common sense anymore, We went a kind of little off the deep end. You think? I don't think we just went off the deep end. We're sinking fast. We got people who won't even, define a woman, right? Who's that lady that they were trying to make a judge, and she's like, I'm not a biologist. Oh, well, fuck. I can't define a woman. That's way past the deep end. That's sinking to the bottom of the ocean, right? He said in his intro video, and sure, it's hard to disagree with that on principle, but let's take a look at the kind of common sense in quotes, right? Anthony is talking about altogether. Here's the song's second verse, right? I wish politicians would look out for minors. You know, those guys digging coal, doing the job that feminists would never want to do, right? And not just minors on an island somewhere. So somehow that's bad. That's bad to the blue hairs, bringing up Epstein's Island, right? Let's not forget, these are the people that backed Cuties, that garbage movie, right? So it's no surprise that they have an issue with that line because it brings up Epstein's Island and all that. Lord, we got folks on the street ain't got nothing to eat and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bag of fudge rounds. Best lyric in 2003, hands down. And I guarantee you, he's spot on for one thing. If the people are giving you tax dollars to buy food, maybe junk food is not the best way to go about it. You want to get fat, do what I did and get a job. And then get fat. Eat all the chicken wings, the Domino's, drink all the beer you want, right? Do it that way. That's what I did. It's worked for me so far. Taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Listen, I am going to Google that because I want a bag of fudge rounds. I don't even like fudge, but I got to see if I can buy a bag, right? I got to know what a fudge round is. I'm up in Ontario, Canada, so I've never heard of it, right? Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Now, the blue hairs are upset with this because what he's referring to is men's suicide rate and that it's, far above that of women. And the blue hairs, the pink hairs, the feminists, they can't have that because they got to be on top of the victim hierarchy, right? And so they don't want that brought up. Remember this lady here, Big Red in Toronto? Okay, I'm not going to tell you. I got a personal story about her. But I'll tell it at the end in case, I don't want people to get bored. I want to stay on track here. But if you want to hear my little story where I saw her, just stick around for a little bit. It won't take long, I promise, okay? But they have a problem with that. They have a problem with that because it takes away part of their victim narrative. All right. So Emma goes on to say, while that first couplet is frankly pretty baffling in its own right, it's not. It's fairly obvious exactly what he's referring to. Look, the 5'3", 300 pounds, I guarantee you, where this guy lives, he knows people like that. He's drawing from personal experience. So he knows these people that are super fat, make shitty life choices, and buy junk food. Reminds me of when I used to live in Hamilton, Ontario, a dump, okay? And I'd see dudes on their 12-speed bikes, right, driving around, and they'd have a 2-for a beer balanced on the handlebars, right? And I'd always think to myself, so there's always money for beer, not a night school class, not something to try and get yourself ahead in life. Got to get that beer, right? Get your welfare check, hit the beer store and get the buck of beer. So he knows people like that, just like I've seen people like that. So it's not baffling, Emma. It really isn't. She goes, it becomes even more confounding taking into account that Anthony says the song is him drawing the line on being quiet when I started to see human trafficking being normalized, which he called one of the worst things that a human can do. Now, this lyric sounds like the exact opposite of that. Really? Really? That's mental gymnastics at its finest, folks, but it does get better in the next paragraph. It does get better, trust me. She's really grasping at straws on this one. Further, folks, this is the creme de la creme of the retardation that is happening with these leftists. Further, the title of the song is, shall we say, open to interpretation. It's really not. It's pretty obvious what he's referring to. On one hand, Washington, D.C. is directly north of Richmond, implying that, in line with Anthony's self-declared centrism, the song is merely a screed against powerful politicians taking from the working man. That's exactly what it is, but they can't handle it. Again, conservatives made this guy a star. They can't have that. But, and hold on to your hat, folks, as some on lyric site Genius and elsewhere have pointed out, Richmond was also the capital and northernmost city of the Confederacy. That's right. He wants to bring back slavery, clearly. Right? So in that case, rich men north of Richmond would be everyone in the north, which obviously paints a far grimmer picture. Gold medal. Bravo, Emma. Bravo. And the people on Genius, clearly another leftist site. He wants slavery back, folks. That's the only meaning, right? Oh, actually, I wonder if I can. Let me just. No, Oliver Anthony. Let me just. I saw this thing on Twitter, and I'm going to scroll down here. Where did I see it? Just keep in mind, this guy wants to bring the slaves back, okay? According to Emma. Oh. Very offended, this fella. Very offended. Right? And where did I see it? Oh, can I get it? Where did I see it? Sorry, folks. Oh, where is it? Oh, here we go. LeBron James just rocking out to this tune. But Emma wants you to think that Oliver Anthony wants to bring back slavery because the city of Richmond is in the title. Anyways, that's it, folks. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. That'd be awesome. And that's it. Now, I said before I had a story about Big Red, the angry feminist who didn't care about male suicide. So I'm in my city of residence, let's say. I'm in a bar. My friends all went to this bar for wings. They dragged me out there. It's karaoke night, and I fucking hate karaoke. I hate it with a passion. But I look over at the bar, and guess who's sitting there? None other than Big Red herself, right? With her red hair, and she's sitting there by herself drinking wine. And it's karaoke night. So, of course, what does old Red have to sing? Respect by Aretha Franklin. So she goes up, belts out her tune, and goes right back to the bar by herself and just keeps chugging that wine. Lesson for you ladies, right? You feminists. That's your future. Drinking by yourself at a bar because you're insufferable. Okay? Now, if you made it this far, let's try and find some fudge rounds, okay? Oh, and yeah, here's another article where basically it said it's offensive and fat phobic. And as a fat fuck, I'm not offended at all. You know, that was my choice to get fat. Well, it wasn't my choice. It's just a series of bad life decisions. Too many chicken wings and beer. Let's put it that way, okay? Buy bag of fudge rounds. Canada. Little Debbie fudge rounds. Oh, shit. Unavailable. Fuck. I wanted fudge rounds. Damn it. All right. Well, that's it. Anyways, peace out.